GCP Fireside Chat. This is Nathan with Trevor. Today our topic is going to be mindset. So real quick, to kind of get us going on the right direction, some of the things that we want to talk about in terms of mindset is a little bit about nutrition in terms of like pity eating and kind of just thinking more about positive and taking your nutrition right now, and maybe taking it to another level since we're home a little bit more. So go ahead.
Okay, so, nutrition is a complete mindset thing all year long. Like most people's nutrition is not bad because for any other reason than they're mentally weak about it, meaning they're using it as a coping mechanism for a lot of things. So that it's pure mental health thing, honestly. I know I struggle with it a lot, and it's always mental stuff. It has nothing to do with anything else. My body's really not craving anything. I'm dealing with things emotionally. So nutrition-wise, during this time, a lot of people probably have already noticed themselves. I know we're working with people on one-on-one nutrition coaching right now because they find themselves walking to the fridge and just opening the fridge for no reason at all. It's boredom eating happening. So like mentally, you have to be a little bit stronger. You have to use a mindset to say, my goal during this time is I want to keep life as normal as possible. And one of those things is my eating routine. I'm going to pick certain times of the day. I'm going to stay focused on those times of the day. Also, when I'm going to the grocery store, I'm not loading up because right now grocery stores haven't been negatively impacted. They've actually been positively impacted. They haven't been negatively impacted during this time. So like what we need to do with that is like not go out and buy those comfort foods right now. You need to keep those things out of the house because really when you're bored, you're going to go eat that stuff. I know for me, I have done a great job of keeping those out of the house right now, and it has helped out a ton because there are a lot of times when I want to eat those things. I just don't have them available, and I'm not going to randomly drive to the grocery store, especially during this time. So it forces me just to eat what I have available or don't eat at all. So yeah, you can really affect your mindset. And also, like, if you're eating really healthy, it does help, like, give you the right nutrients. And it makes you feel, I'm doing something right. Like, at least I'm killing my nutrition. I'm killing my nutrition. That's put me in a really good mindset to help with other things. Maybe if I'm doing my nutrition really well, I'm going to do my workouts. There's a lot of other things I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to, like, just have more energy for my kids. Now I'm getting a chance to teach my kids how to eat healthier, to be proper. And you're with your kids all the time right now, and they're watching your habits. If you're sitting there eating Snickers bars, they're going to eat Snickers bars, right? They're not going to understand why they have to eat an apple when you're eating a Snickers bar. Like, so it's the idea is, like, can I have the right foods in the house? And I'm eating chips, my kids are eating chips. Like, be a positive role model for them using the proper mindset to keep you there.
Awesome. I like what you talked about there with that positive mindset. A lot about what people are doing right now is they focus a lot on the negative. Talk to me about like trying to become a little bit more positive during this time and not dwelling always on the negative and how that can impact you.
And this has probably moved into one of my life mottos is control the controllables. And that's the perfect way to put your mindset and stuff. There's so much stuff right now that's out of our control. But if you look at everyday life, there are so many factors that are out of your control. So putting a positive spin on it is there are things that are controllable. Nutrition is 100% controllable. That's on nobody but you, and you can't blame anybody but yourself. Getting your workouts in is on you. They're available regardless if you're working out with us or not. Those are available. Other positive mindsets are you can control the things that you're grateful for right now, right? We're doing the mentality challenge right now in GCP. And so it's like, what's the right mindset you have for these things, right? Like, am I doing the positives every day? Am I thinking about the things I'm grateful that are going on? So gratitude work is a great way to get that positivity side. Praying for the right people, having great conversations with friends. Like, so if there's a friend of yours that is just a complaining person, right? There's a person who's just going to complain and honestly bitch and moan about all this stuff, right? Those are not the people to be talking to right now. This is a great time to take that friend and say, bye, I don't want you in my life. Maybe now or maybe forever, to be honest. That's a harsh thing to do. That's what I do in my life. If somebody's that way, it's like, move on. We're not going to spend time with you because you're going to bring my life down. And I don't want you to bring my life down. And this is a great time to think that way with your friends. Like if there's somebody that is a positive, if your mom's a person that's a super warrior, I'm talking about like, you know, a parent, your parents are a little bit super warrior and they're super warriors and they make you worry more. Maybe it's the best time to like, make sure in those conversations you always steer it into something else like, hey mom, how's dad doing? All these other conversations you can have with your parents and force them away from the topic of COVID-19 or all the negatives going on for that. Trying to put yourself in a positive mindset, as many conversational mindsets as you can. You stir the conversation, you're the one that controls it. Like if you're getting freaked out every single day by the news, stop watching the news. You don't need to know those updates that often. Like, yeah, there are a lot of negative things, but there are super positive things going on. The people that are donating, helping people out, the firefighters, the healthcare workers are going to work. These are positive things that people are doing to impact our world. So stop worrying about the negative and start putting yourself out there in a positive light.
I like what you said there about worrying. To me, like worrying is like, it's like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, You go back and forth, but you're actually not going anywhere. Nothing's actually getting accomplished. So worrying is one of those things that we can try to like put on the back burners and try to do less of, because all it does is create added stress, which we're obviously trying to battle during this time.
And worrying leads to the eating, right? So it's like that endless cycle. You're creating it in your own mindset. So like when I'm worrying and I'm rocking that chair, it's like, well, now I'm really stressed out, so I'm gonna grab a bag of chips or whatever your thing is, right? If it's ice cream, having it at home, now you just recreate that process. But honestly, guys, you're the one doing it to yourself. Every person in the world is being impacted by this, and very few are positively being impacted by it. But there are a lot of people that are putting themselves in the right mindset, saying like, I don't let this control me. I'm a human being. I'm resilient. I get a choice to do what I want to do in this moment, in this life. And there's things that aren't controllable, but I can control these other things, and I'm going to focus on this and come out of this the best variation of myself I can be.
That's awesome. Something else I want you to talk about is a little bit more about like gratitude, focusing on what you do have versus what you don't have. I mean, like obviously people are stuck inside right now, but focusing in on like their families, like your friends, talking about more focusing on gratitude versus, oh man, I can't go outside, or I can't go to the gym, I can't do this, I can't do that.
Yeah, so gratitude, if you guys don't really know what that means, it's like finding the things in life that you are grateful for regardless of the situation. It could be, I'm grateful to wake up for the day. It could be, I'm grateful that I have amazing parents. My parents haven't been negatively impacted by that. It can be, I'm grateful if the sun's out today and it's not cold. Like it's just literally being grateful in the moment for the things that are going on in your life. So I guarantee you could sit there every day and write down 3 things that you're grateful for, different than every other day. It could honestly be the same thing. I am grateful the sun's out. For me, one of my favorite things of the day is seeing sunlight. I get so much energy from seeing sunlight. So I'm grateful yesterday that I was able to go outside and eat lunch outside. Like, grateful for it. So what are the things that are happening in your life that is 100% in your control and you can be super happy about? I mean, there is everything in the world can be grateful for. I am grateful I don't have COVID-19, right? I'm grateful somebody in my life hasn't been impacted by that. I'm grateful that somebody that was impacted by that healed from that, right? I am grateful about the fact that the grass is growing outside and I can go mow the lawn. Like what? I mean, those things sound like chores, but right now you have so much time. I'm grateful I don't have to drive to work. I'm grateful I get to spend more time with my kids. There are so many negatives, but there are so many really good things that are happening right now too, because the world is a little shut down. So you're able to focus on your world and be not everybody else's attention. It's your attention. Choose what you want to put your energy towards. And a lot of times it's towards your family, towards things around your house, getting things caught up that you haven't been caught up on a long time. Maybe you're a super big Netflix person. You're caught up on seasons you haven't been caught up on a long time. A lot of those things. Maybe you finally watched Game of Thrones, like something like that nature. You're like, oh my God, I understand what the world's saying. It's a horrible show.
It's a horrible, horrible ending. So a little bit I want you to talk about is like how fear can kind of be our own worst enemy out there. And so talk a little bit more about how fear impacts us and makes us actually fear things almost irrationally.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things right now with like fear-based media, and media in general is fear-based. Like that's their ideas. That's why they spend time on the negative way more than they spend time on the positive. It's a negative. It's creating what makes people like come back, and fear is one of those big things for that. It's why Netflix documentaries are really about killers and stuff like that. It's like they're trying to create these fear-based mentality. But that's a negative mentality. But negative mentalities, just like negative habits, are things that our brains easily pushed into those things. It takes a lot more work to keep you on the positive than it does on the negative. So like it's a lot easier to push you into those directions. And people out there with like, degrees in psychology and stuff like that, they understand these things, and that's how all this fear-based stuff is created. So to worry about fear things, it's the same thing as a positive negative mindset, right? It's like there are a lot of things that could go wrong, but that happens 100% of the time every day of the year, right? Every day of your life. There's so many things, car accidents, all that kind of stuff. Anything could go wrong any minute. And living in that fear-based mentality, you'll never actually live a life. Mm-hmm. You'll spend your whole time in life being fearful of life instead of enjoying it and attacking life the way you should. We have a limited amount of time, 50, 60, 80 years most, right? You have a limited amount of time. So living in a fear-based life, you're not going to do anything in this lifetime. You're going to almost waste a lifetime. But staying in that positive mindset and attacking mindset, saying, hey, yes, a lot can go wrong, but I can control so many things that could go great, and I'm going to make sure that I keep my mind in a positive mindset moving forward.
Like what you said, it reminds me a lot of the old line where everybody dies, not everybody really lives, and there's an old saying like carpe diem, like seize the day, like living away from that fear. So here with GCP, a lot of things that we focus on first is changing the way you think to change the way you feel, so you can change the way you act, so that finally you can change the way you live. And if you notice, it's a step-by-step process. And the first thing we talked about was changing the way you think right there with that mindset, so you can all of a sudden start feeling different, so that you can start acting differently, and so that your lifestyle is totally different. And that's basically the GCP approach to that. Do you have anything to
I mean,
add?
that part is the cool part about everything Nathan said. 100% in your control. You 100% control how you think, which then you can 100% control how you act. But if you're thinking negatively, it's really going to be hard to act positively. So like 100% controllable in each of those stages, and it is built on top of each other. But like the best part is it's 100% controllable. I mean, this is a special time, maybe a negative time in our lives, but it is a special time at the same time as like, if you can understand those ideas, life is so much easier for the rest of your life, realistically, because if you can have a positive mindset and move through it, you can conquer whatever you want and do whatever you want. I mean, me and Nate have done things in our lives that a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys have done that. It's just a positive mindset. We're willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. You just use that mindset, and it really helps us out during negative moments because we have a mindset that allows us to keep thinking positively.
So today, at the end of this chat, we want you to kind of accept a little challenge and ask yourselves a couple questions. First one is about your nutrition. I am eating the way I'm eating because, and see if that's an excuse or if it's because that's how you're choosing to eat, because you actually are focusing on your nutrition right now with that positive mindset. Another question, I am working out, yes or no, because. And is that another excuse? And the final one is going to be, I have a negative mindset right now where I always kind of feel a little more depressed than usual, and I want you to think because. And see what's impacting you. Right, look at what those reasons are and see like, man, I can control those. You'll be surprised by how much you can control and dictate those answers. This is Nathan and Trevor signing off.